What a difference 24 hours can make. At this point yesterday, we were dealing with soaking rain, widespread freezing rain, and a whole lot of ice. Turned out to be one of the wettest days we've ever had in February history. In fact, the fourth wettest all time, where we topped out just over 2 inches of total rainfall. It was an absolute soaker across the area, and many of us that got soaked through the course of the day woke up this morning with quite a mess across southern Michigan. What a difference it looks like right now. Once that sun came out, temperatures skyrocketed today, jumping into the lower 60s. Does look like 62 was the official high today. Now we are turning cooler, falling back to 54. West winds at 24 miles per hour, and I do expect that breeze is going to pick up. Now we're going to keep an eye on this. The numbers, the latest outage numbers, we're looking at over 17,000 customers without power in Hillsdale County. That is about 80% of Hillsdale County without power. Lenawee County, it's over 32,000, about 2/3 of the county without power, and Monroe County just over or just under 23,000 customers, about a third of the county still without power due to yesterday's very significant ice storm that came in across the area. So those numbers, of course, we'll continue to watch those as it gets colder tonight. There were the reports as we expected. They would be along and north of Route 24, specifically up across southern Michigan. And it was just nice to get that sun out. Good chance to melt some of that ice away from many of the trees and tree limbs. Doppler radars nice and dry as we go into the evening. But here it is, that cooler air arriving now west of Toledo. It's 42 in Bryan. 55 Bowling Green, still near 60 Upper Sandusky and Findlay, and near 60 degrees east of Toledo. And if you look across the rest of the Buckeye State, boy, this map does not look like the month of February, and it's been like that for several days this month. Let's send it over to meteorologist John Birchfield. And John, I got to ask you, where do we actually stand with snowfall, and how incredible is this?
It's pretty incredible, Chris. This is a historic, not only February, but also all winter has really been anomalously warm. And so far, we have no sticking snow this entire month. This will likely be the least snowy February that we have ever recorded in Toledo history. And that dates back to the late 1800s. In 1899, half an inch of snow fell during that February. Also topping the list for least snowy Februaries, 1987. We are not going to get any sticking snow for the next week. And this will likely be the first time that we've ever gone the entire month of February with no accumulating snow. What a stark contrast to the last few years, though. We recorded almost 2 feet of snow in 2021, and that made it the 7th snowiest February on record. Last February, number 11 atop that list, and we just have a trace of snowfall, just a few flakes, but not even enough to measure with a ruler. Now, what do all 3 of those Februaries have in common? They occurred during a La Nina winter. Goes to show that La Nina and El Nino are not the only factors that impact our winter weather. Here's a look at the least snowy Februaries topping the list. There we have it, 2023. 1987 and 1899 share the spot at number 2, and a couple other years brought less than 1 inch of snowfall. If you want snow, you've got to go way to the north. That ice storm also brought us significant snow accumulations from the thumb of Michigan back towards the Twin Cities that recorded 1 to 2 feet of snowfall. But Chris, snowfall's been hard to come by all winter long, and looks like we might escape the rest of February without any accumulation.
The really difficult part, John, about this, though, so many people look forward to ice fishing and getting the snowmobile out.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, it looks like you're going to have to hitch it up and take that trip up north.
Yeah, the ice fishing's been non-existent this winter, and in this week's Climate Friday newsletter, I actually talk about how normally the Great Lakes are at their peak for ice cover at around 60% this time of year.
Oh, and Lake Erie is where?
And Lake Erie is at 0. Not surprising.
Unbelievable. Well,
Yeah.
we're talking temperatures 60s and even to the 70s. No surprise that at the lower Great Lakes, the lack of ice cover. John Birchfield, really appreciate that update. Check this out tomorrow morning. We're going to be talking a cool, chilly start to the day. Concern is we just talked about some of the power outages ongoing across southern Michigan. Look at this. Could be in the mid to upper teens to near 20 degrees as we enter into your Friday morning. So cold start to the day, and I expect it will stay cold as we go through the afternoon. We are going to rebound, making it through the upper 20s to near 30 degrees by the time we reach tomorrow afternoon. Still a cold start to Saturday. We see that chill begin to ease and we'll be close to 40, perhaps even low to mid 40s show up by the time we hit Saturday afternoon. Mostly cloudy tonight. Going to turn much colder down to 24. A little cooler than that. Could be talking teens across southern Michigan. For your Friday, lower 30s. Partly sunny skies, that cold feel, and a brisk breeze. Northwest winds up to 15 miles per hour. Final weekend in February. It is expected to be dry. Saturday near 40 degrees. Sunday climbs into the upper 40s. And I expect 50s return as we get into Monday. But here's the thing. That's our next storm system that arrives. And we're looking at widespread rain. And look at this, even a few rumbles of thunder, and those rain showers could become heavy at times with highs in the 50s. Early March, looking mild on Wednesday, close to 50 degrees. Then another system late next week puts us back into the 40s with wet weather returning Thursday into Friday.